10 strange deep-sea anomalies that can't be explained. Oceans cover more than 70% of our Earth's surface. With the vast amount of ocean space, our deep seas are full of strange anomalies that we simply cannot explain. This makes sense as there are still many oceans and other bodies of water that are left unexplored, with many secrets waiting to be discovered. From mysterious sea creatures to strange sounds coming from the ocean to crashed alien ships, even after making these strange discoveries, many scientists are unable to fully explain them. There are so many questions that are still to be answered. And be ready to get your head scratched as you join us today on this mysterious ride. So without further ado, let's get started. Number 10. Sycamore Knoll, the underwater alien base. At the periphery between the intercontinental borderland of Southern California and the Western Transverse Ranges province, there is a strain which is partitioned across the Anacapa-Dume fault line. At this fault system, there's a pop-up structure 20 kilometers on the west known as the Sycamore Knoll. It's an anomaly that was discovered by Google Earth. It is located 2,000 feet below the surface of the ocean. And from the images that have been seen, it looks like a Greek structure with many columns. It seems as if someone built a roof structure, which is being supported by many pillars. According to geologists, it's not a very unique finding, as there are many similar structures which lie in the oceans. While the UFOologists believe that this is a very special discovery that might indicate extraterrestrial life form, since it cannot be a man-made structure. Before we move on, I've got a little challenge for all of you that'll just take 5 seconds to complete. So here's the deal. You leave a like on this video, smash that subscribe button, and hit the notification bell. And boom, 25 years of amazing luck. Try it, it really works. Number 9. The legendary lost city of Heraklion. This anomaly is more than just a legend. There has been found ancient text and a few rare inscriptions that indicate the presence of the city of Heraklion, which has been hidden away from the earth for many thousands of years, buried deep underneath the water. Many explorers have searched for this city for decades. After researching for many years, a French archaeologist and his subordinates came across a huge face figure that was coming out of the water's shadows off the coast of Egypt. This was the discovery of the city of Heraklion, almost 7 kilometers off the coast of Alexandria, completely submerged. Upon more exploration, many anchors, ships, troves of gold coins, standing statues, remains of temples, and small sarcophagi for the animals were found there. The most notable discovery was the massive temple of the god Amun-Gurib. All the stone artifacts that have been found are remarkably preserved, giving the glimpse into the past of the great port city of the world. This was the harbor city that controlled all the trade of Egypt. Nobody is sure how a once great city ended up completely underwater though. Number 8. Lake Vostok. Buried 4,000 meters deep beneath the surface of ice in Antarctica, there is a giant body of water known as Lake Vostok. In recent years, this lake had a surge in publicity. Since many years ago, it's been suggested that there were subglacial lakes that existed beneath this continent. This lake is untouched by mankind and the environment. It's expected that Lake Vostok might contain ancient life forms, which can be used to study the process of evolution. This lake was postulated in the year of 1960 by a geographer and Antarctic explorer, Andrei Kapitsa, in the east of Antarctica. It was not until the year 1993 that by using a radar system, which measured the surface reformation, that the presence of Lake Vostok was confirmed. This body of water has been separated from the Earth's atmosphere for millions of years, with only limited resources. Could this be a barren area, or might it contain living fossils? These are questions that haven't yet been answered. Number 7. Cuba's underwater city. Back in December of 2001, there was a surge in the media that a discoverer had found the remains of a city submerged underwater that might be thousands of years old. This was a story that got fame from some of the most reputable sources. It was believed that the city of Atlantis had been found. In the year 2000, Cuban government commissioned 4 companies to undertake sonar surveys, the purpose of which were to locate the remains of sunken ships and submarines. However, the explorers were astonished by the results. These sonar images taken showed symmetrical figures that were aligned to a grid. Then, a second survey was conducted, which returned with the data that showed other structures, such as pyramids. These seemed like advanced figures, which suggested the existence of a civilization when the water levels were much lower. The team, however, couldn't view the city in great detail because of the depth. Number 6. Lake Michigan Stonehenge. Scientists routinely survey oceans and lakes for hidden structures. Almost 40 feet beneath the surface of Lake Michigan, while trying to track sunken boats and cars, archaeologists found a surprise. In the year 2007, Mark Hawley, a professor at the Michigan University College, found a very distinct and aligned rock formation underneath the lake. Most of the lake bed is completely empty, except for a few areas. There were observed to be boulders of multiple heights. Some seemed natural, while a few appeared to be man-made. After the rocks were exhumed, archaeologists believe that these boulders had a petroglyph of a mastodon engraved into their surface. This petroglyph could be 10,000 years old, which coincides with the post-Ice Age presence of mastodons in humans. Unfortunately, since the finding, not much has been updated about this discovery. Number 5. The Lost Locomotives. We've all heard about car graveyards, but have you ever heard of an underwater train graveyard? In the year 1850, 2 locomotives were lost, which were later discovered in 1985 by Captain Paul Helper while scanning the ocean floor in his vessel. These locomotives were the rare Planet Class 222T models. It was a model that was produced for a very short time because of the unfortunate fact that they became obsolete as soon as they were produced. These were the oldest trains in the history of America. What still remains a mystery to this day is how these trains ended up in the ocean. There's no historical record of these engines being built or lost. Historians believe that the records that contain the information about the engines might have been destroyed or lost, or perhaps these never existed in the first place. Number 4. Wilkes Land. There is a giant crater which is 2 times larger than the biggest crater on Earth that lies beneath the Wilkes Land. There are a lot of controversies surrounding this crater. Some believe that this was an old Nazi base, while others believe that this crater is of an extraterrestrial origin. Some investigators suggest that this looks like a large staircase on the floor of the Antarctic. This is an anomaly that has baffled many minds, and the most reasonable theory to explain this phenomenon suggests that it's an impact crater. How was it formed is a question that nobody has been able to answer till this day. Just by its sheer size, the crater is larger than Paris, one of the biggest metropolitan cities we have today. Maybe this was an impact point of something that caused the last major extinction on our planet. Number 3. The disappearing island of Bermuda. The island of Bermuda was first mentioned in the year 1539. According to a cartographer, it was a small island that looked reddish or blondish from a distance, and it was indicated in several maps of the Gulf of Mexico from the 16th to the 20th centuries onwards. In the year 2008, a survey was being conducted during the determination of the boundaries for exploitation rights of oils, which didn't identify a presence of any such island. The interest of scientists rose from that point onwards, trying to track down the location of the island of Bermuda. But all that can be found in the area is water, which suggests that the island might not have existed in the first place. But this questions all the old maps that indicated its presence. Many theories exist about its disappearance, including a conspiracy that the CIA destroyed the island in order to enlarge the economic zone allocated to the United States. Number 2. Whales singing deeper. Blue whales are the largest animals on the planet that live in deep oceans. Sometimes whales communicate with each other through acoustics, but the sounds that blue whales make would seem more like a tectonic rumble than a song to the human hearing. Why they make this sound remains a mystery. The sounds that blue whales had made throughout the centuries remained unchanged across generations. But since the 1960s, scientists have noticed a change in the sounds. The pitch of these sounds has shifted an equivalent of 3 keys on the piano. Over 7 different species of blue whales have started to sing at deeper frequencies than before. Scientists have developed many theories to explain this behavior, some hopeful, some worrisome, but all of them involve humans. Some think that this could be linked to survival, competition, and the population density. So before we reveal our top pick, we'd like to thank Gwen Kalish from the US for sending us the thumbnail for today's video. And without further ado, here's today's top pick. Number 1. The Bermuda Triangle. The Bermuda Triangle has made quite a name for itself in the world of conspiracies and mysteries. Till this day, it's a mystery that has confused scientists for generations. It's been associated with many tragedies since its discovery. All of this began in the year 1918, when a U.S. Navy ship disappeared in the Atlantic Ocean, near Bermuda, Miami, and Puerto Rico. According to the history, no distress call was made by the ship crew. The ship, with the entire crew of 300 members, just vanished into the unknown, and no wreckage was found in the area. The second disappearance was of 5 Navy bomber planes flying over the region that vanished as their compasses failed to work. Most of them lost their fuel and landed in the sea. A rescue plane was sent for help, but it also disappeared along with the other planes. There are many theories that have been presented to explain the disappearances, ranging from aliens to the space-time continuum, a black hole, the presence of supernatural, and according to the latest theory, gas hydrates in the area have created sinkholes, which cause the ships to sink and disappear.